What's up guys? So in this particular video we'll be discussing about Bhutan in the month of June 2025, what you should be expecting in terms of the weather, the road condition, the places that you should be visiting, what you should be packing, and most of all, is it a good time to be going to Bhutan in the month of June 2025. So starting off with the weather, you got to understand one very important thing, that the month of June is the start of monsoon in Bhutan, so it's going to be raining. But at the same time, it's a very good and a very beautiful experience that awaits you if you're considering a travel to Bhutan in the month of June. The temperature in Bhutan in the daytime will range from anywhere between 15 to 25 degrees, and the temperature in the night will drop to as low as 5 to 12 degrees. So now this temperature fluctuation entirely depends on which part of Bhutan you are in. If you are in the more remote and higher altitude places like Ha Valley, Pobjika, it will definitely be much cooler, but in places like Punakha it might be a little bit warmer. Thimphu and Paro are always pleasant and cool throughout the year, so June is no exception. Now when it comes to the rain, you got to remember one thing, that it's the start of monsoon in Bhutan. So by default you need to carry an umbrella, and it can rain for a few minutes to a couple of hours to even half a day in the month of June. Thunderstorms also are possible, and the weather is something that you'll have to keep checking regularly, because weather updates are best when you check them regularly, considering that it can change anytime in the Himalayas, and Bhutan being a Himalayan country is no exception. Now if you have already booked your tickets to Bhutan in the month of June and are worried about the rains and landslides, do not be worried. Bhutan has excellent roads, and even if there is a landslide, the road will be clear, so you do not have to worry about any kind of casualties as such, because the infrastructure is extremely well made and tourism is their priority. So they will make sure that you're safe and sound. And the best part about traveling to Bhutan is that you have a guide and a driver who's a local from Bhutan, so by default they know their way around it. So it's not like you'll have to take the headache of navigating through the roadblocks and the landslides if they do happen to hamper any kind of travel journey along your trip. So now when it comes to the month of June, the most important thing that people need to remember is that you need to plan for minimum 6 nights 7 days, because anything shorter in the monsoon will just make your trip not worth the amount of money that you're spending at the time you are traveling to Bhutan. So plan for a trip which is minimum 6 nights 7 days. If you can plan for anything longer, it will be better. Now Bhutan doesn't allow anybody to travel independently. You will have to go via a travel agency, because that's the only way to get in. So for all those who are trying to beat the system and are looking to get into the immigration and then look for a guide and all of that, it doesn't happen like that over there. You have to have all your bookings done, and only your guide will be able to get you through immigration and in and out of immigration. So that's the only way you can get through in and get entry into Bhutan. Now once you have booked with your travel agency, just make sure that you're spending a couple of days in Paro and in Thimphu, depending on what you want to experience. Thimphu has better nightlife, Paro has better shopping, and Paro is known for the hike to Tiger Monastery. Just remember that there's an entry fee to enter the monastery, and phones are not allowed inside the monastery. The entry fee after hiking 5 kilometers is 1000 rupees per person. This is 1000 Bhutanese rupees, which is equivalent to the same in India. Now for all those who are wondering what kind of network works in Bhutan, you can get a SIM card after immigration, either Tashi SIM or B SIM, which is their local Bhutanese SIM operator. You can opt for whichever you want to prefer for, and your guide will definitely help you get through this once your immigration is done. Do not go for international roaming, because it's really not worth spending so much of money. You can always just take the local SIM and get your work done through WhatsApp calling and WhatsApp. Network is available all over Bhutan, so if you're someone who's planning on traveling to Bhutan and carrying some work along, you can easily go ahead and travel without worrying about having any downtime. I would say 99.99% of the places are covered with network, and most places that you will stay at have Wi-Fi, so you do not need to worry about the same. Now in Thimphu and Paro, by default you'll get a good time. In the places like Punakha, Ha Valley and Pobjika, you'll get a more authentic experience of what Bhutan has to offer. But at the same time, you have to understand that because of the rain, you might have a bit of delays here and there. It's not because the monsoon is going to delay you in the sense of traffic jams or any kind of natural disaster, but it's the fact that you will be moving slowly across the monuments, and because things might be a little bit slow in comparison to when it's dry season, and you can walk much faster. Hiking up is also not a problem. The trail to Tiger Monastery is very well laid off, and your guide will be with you to help you. You do get bamboo sticks at the entrance, which are worth buying on rent because they will give you additional support to get there. Other than this, remember that when you're traveling to Bhutan, Indian debit cards and credit cards do not work in Bhutan. So by default, you will have to carry cash. So it's always better to have extra cash with you so that you do not run out of cash and enter Bhutan. Indian currency of only 100 and 200 is accepted. So all those planning on taking 500 rupee notes, exchange them and get them to lower denominations to have a more stress-free experience. Most travel operators will help you out by giving you currency in Bhutan, where you can just transfer the money to them and they will give you the equivalent currency via your guide. So that's a choice that you can make depending on how you want to travel. If you are someone who's looking for a trip to Bhutan in the month of June, we do have trips happening to Bhutan in the month of June. You can click on the link in the description and you'll get all the details related to our trip to Bhutan in June. If you are interested, you can directly book via our website, or you can click on the WhatsApp icon at the bottom right of our website and chat with our sales team. But remember, our sales team is only meant for queries related to our trip, not for your personal queries and doubts related to Bhutan for your own independent travel. For your own independent doubts related to Bhutan, you can leave a comment in the comment box below this video and we'll be more than happy to reply to your comment with whatever answers suits your question. Now getting back to the video, if you're someone who's traveling to Bhutan hoping for snow, seeking snow in Bhutan, you might find it at Dochula Pass or Chelila Pass, but it's very unlikely because once it starts raining, the snow starts to melt. But you never know, in case the weather goes really bad and it becomes really cold, it can start snowing at these two places. So that's the only best chance you have to see snow. But over and above this, you will definitely need your woolen clothing, along with the fact that you will need your umbrella. Just carry a good sturdy umbrella because sometimes it gets really windy in Bhutan and that can be a real problem. The biggest advantage of traveling to Bhutan in the month of June is that since it's monsoon, most of the people do not travel to Bhutan. This leaves you with a more enriching experience because there's lesser crowd at all the monuments. So by default, you will get to visit everything in detail without being rushed through anything. At the same time, the cost of a lot of places drop. Even the restaurants charge you much cheaper rates as compared to what it is in peak season during the month of December and May, June. Now what should you pack? By default, you need to pack your jacket and you need to carry an umbrella. You need to have good sturdy shoes. Waterproof shoes are more advisable since it can rain anytime. At the same time, make sure that you have your sunglasses on and a UV protected sunglasses, because when the sun comes out, it's pretty harsh and you will need UV sunglasses to protect you from the sun rays over there. Along with this, just carry clothes which dry up quickly so that even if you do get wet, you're not going to be soaked in this. Avoid wearing jeans in the monsoon. You can always carry joggers, or I would say cargo pants, depending on what you are more comfortable with. So now till our next video for Bhutan, stay safe, stay happy and stay blessed.